200 years after people. With the collapse of the modern skyscrapers, New York's silhouette is a throwback to the Great Depression. Completed in the early 1930s, the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building once vied to be the tallest buildings in the world. The Chrysler held that crown for less than a year before the Empire State surpassed it. Now, the rivalry is over. The Empire State Building slips from the skyline. Ships, known as Lakers, can hold 75,000 tons, but they also draw more than 30 feet of water when afloat. That's too deep for sections of the Niagara River near the falls. But another Laker is working its way toward the falls. This one is not getting caught along the shallows.
Most likely to make it towards the lip of the Niagara Falls are ships riding high, like this one, out of ballast and carrying no cargo. That means they're hardly drawing any water, maybe 5 or 10 feet.
It approaches Niagara Falls, once a gathering spot for newlyweds. For this ship, the honeymoon is over.
They're not armored, they're not like a battleship. In fact, the shells are quite thin, like an eggshell. Half-inch, couple inches, depending on the size of the ship.
As it reaches the edge, the front half shears off and tumbles. The back follows. Incredibly, the 200-foot ship is actually longer than the falls is high. Years after people. The crucible steel of the mighty Golden Gate Bridge has been humbled by common oxygen.
What you're talking about is a bridge that is painted rust red now. Years from now, it's going to be rust. May very well be the same color, but when you get close, it's not going to be a healthy place.
Dense fogs feed the rust, which threatens at the point of highest stress the vertical cables that bear the crushing weight of the deck.
The roadway is not designed to support itself. It's really designed to be suspended from these cables.
The failure of one cable quickly triggers others around it. Unsupported, the roadway plunges 245 feet into the chill gray waters of the bay. 100 years after people. Within sight of where the majestic Opera House once stood, the Sydney Harbour Bridge is nearing its own end. The aging steel is under tremendous stress. The hinges at each end of the arch once allowed the bridge to expand during the hot Australian days, but they became corroded and locked long ago. Pressure and severe corrosion could finally cause a cascade of crumbling supports. The bridge collapses into the harbor. Secretariat Tower, but just barely. The steel curtain frame is a teetering, rusted skeleton. Despite a deep foundation and a heavy-duty steel and concrete base, the secretariat was built on filled-in land reclaimed from the East River.
The problem is that there are areas of the sub-basements that are actually below the level of the water line. Because the lower levels would flood, it does expose the steel framework to brackish water, to salt water. So you got major motions of the water slamming into this thing continuously. The salt water itself could cause enough corrosion to bring the building down all at once.
2 years after people. A cable car in San Francisco is about to become gravity's bullet train. The inner core of the cables that run beneath the streets is made of plain rope. After 2 years, it has rotted away. The car has broken free and become an 8-ton missile of wood and steel.
The thing it's most likely to run into first is a vehicle blocking its way. And at that speed, a cable car would slice right through it.